Hello Aquarius, welcome to my channel. I am going to be doing your September reading for Sun, Moon, Rising. I am changing things up a little bit because I had the most amazing energy healing on Saturday with a lady named Gabby. If you're interested, send me a comment in the description box below and I'll tell you more about it. But then I did a load of YouTube readings and it was my energy levels, it was too much, it's too convoluted, so I think there's been a shift in certain kind of ways that I tap in, so I'm trying things a little bit differently this month. Alright, so we will do the sound bowl for a ping to tune in before we begin. Also, apologies for not doing any weekly readings. I have been inundated with work. I have been working on a book for a couple of years and I just needed to kind of keep my head down and just finish that, which I have. So the book is a guide to spiritual awakening and vocal channeling. So it's being proofread at the moment, okay? Anyway, let's jump right in. Let's do a sound bowl just to tune in. You can join me if you like. I'm going to take a breath in and out, okay? Okay, Aquarius. Spirit guides, Ascended Masters, Anna Cassandra, Archangel Michael, Source Energy Players, please protect me in this reading. Please give me clear guidance and foresight and advice for beautiful Aquarius for the highest good. Okay, right, let's see what is going on for you in September, Aquarius. So I'm using my own deck. We're just going to really get one or two cards, okay? You guys are greedy, you've got 3 cards. Okay, we have the Chariot. Okay, hope you can see that all right. Four of Wands. And the Four of Pentacles. Okay. Aquarius. It feels to me, Aquarius, that you are harnessing your shadow side this month in a big way, but in a way that feels very balanced and secure within yourself, okay? Obviously the Chariot means that you are charging forward triumphantly, you're moving forward, perhaps even traveling forward, but the biggest, strongest energy I'm getting on this is basically becoming friends with what you consider as your so-called weaknesses, right? This is actually the energy that's elevating you. It feels to me, I'm really drawn to that dark horse there. It is a number 7, which is a number of spirituality, right? And we've got 2 4s, and 4s talk about solid foundations in numerology, right? Feels to me like you've reached a level this month of harnessing your darker elements, your shadow elements, and it feels to me that what you may have considered a weakness or an imbalance or a challenge is actually turning into the light. So not only have you brought illumination to it, right? You're starting to love it more, which is really, really nice. And it feels like this is the driving force behind this light that you are now shedding, okay? So it feels to me that there's going to be quite, I feel like you're going to be this beacon of light this month for all to see, And the only reason you became this beacon of light is because you shone a light on some of the what we would consider as the negative traits that we have, you know, the things that kind of make us feel held back. It's like because you have addressed this and become friends with it, that is actually the driving mechanism. So number one, the very important message for September is that absolutely embrace and love all the dark stuff that is happening at the moment, because that is the machine that is making you move faster. Okay, it's like a vortex. It's like you've shifted. It's weird because I'm getting this image of like a machinery equipment, right, that has been very rusted. Okay, there's been a lot of dust. It's been in a warehouse in the dark for so long, and you've decided to now come to this warehouse and give it a good clean, a good oil, and you didn't want to do it because it's dirty work, right? But it feels like things are now revving up, and as it does so, the momentum and the energy that happens dispels extra energies that have been attached to it and sucking to it. So definitely there feels like it feels like you've done quite a lot of light work, a lot of kind of spiritual work, a lot of work within yourself, you know, how do I develop myself, how do I rise above my challenges, how do I deal with difficult situations, and you've been doing a lot of that kind of light work within yourself. But when that happens, sometimes you can attract, because you're shining like a beacon of light, what happens is it tends to attract like people of a low vibe, because they are they're attracted to you. You magnetize that in, right, and they stick to you like glue. And this makes you feel like you can't make any forward movement because you've got all of this heavy kind of sticky, muddy energy kind of holding you back, right? Now what's happening is, as you've been kind of cleaning up your shadow work and you've kind of gone, you know what, maybe I do procrastinate. Maybe I can get angry sometimes. Maybe I just can blurt out something that I shouldn't blurt out, or what. All of those sorts of things. I think you're becoming best friends with it, because you're starting to see that those are signifiers and signposts in your world that's telling you what's happening in your emotional body. And your emotional body are your first kind of signposts about what feels in disharmony or out of alignment of your true purpose or your path, your direction in life. Okay, this is quite big stuff. Okay, now that you've become quite friends with this and you've given it a good clean, this is the thing that's actually spurring you on. So it's not necessarily your love and light and, oh yes, everything's you know, I've always got to look for the good rather than the bad. It's like that darker energy is actually serving you extremely well. Okay, and what that does for you this month of September is it's like a powerhouse. It powers you forward. Okay, for some of you, you may be literally moving house, because the chariot, we've got the horses are kind of racing so fast, they've caused a lot of the dust to rise from the surface of the ground. Okay, so you are you're making waves and you're causing a lot of dust, and the dust in the paradigm of the earth plane that you are in at the moment, so your physical reality, right? As you work with, as this driving force's vortex kind of spurs you on, it's like you can't stop the momentum of it. When you travel forward, when you make that move forward, and yes, this can be metaphoric, but there is quite a lot of physical, I'm feeling, physical move here. Okay, so perhaps moving a job, moving a home, moving to, even if it's around the corner, you know, there's momentum, a lot of momentum. As you move with that momentum, it's causing a lot of things from the surface to rise up. So things, so it's there's an expression, and I can't remember what the expression is called. Let me know what it is in the comments box. You probably know what I'm talking about. But basically, it's like, you know, when the worms come out the woodwork, your momentum is actually like causing disruption with other people, because it's showing up in their lives where they are holding themselves back because you're on this fast trajectory, right? This, it makes waves, all right? And but this is no skin off your nose. This is not a bad thing for you. It may be tricky for other people around you, but it's not difficult for you because you've now learned to love your darker shadow side, right? And you're friends with it now. You've found the balance within your soul. And I'm really picking up with that card as well. The dark horse is actually in front of the white horse. You can see it in two different ways, you know. But it feels like the dark horse is the thing that's really spurring you forward. But of course, we know the expression of the dark horse talks about that mysterious nature. So it feels to me like you may not even know exactly where you're heading, but you know you're heading there good and fast, okay? And you know that this is a good, I don't want to say chance to take, this is a good approach, measure to try, because you've not done it this way before, okay? And it may cause up a bit of shifting momentum and energy around you. People around you may be feeling a little bit out of sorts, off balance because of this fast pace that you have, right? I think this is only good. The Chariot typically talks about triumph and victory, okay? So you are racing forward to the finish line, and you may not even know where the finish line is, but your direction is in that Four of Wands, okay? Your direction is, your driving force is stability. You want something stable. Things up until now have not been stable, okay? It has been more a 2 or a 3. A 2 would talk about duality, where you just sort of, like 1 minute's great, the next minute you're dealing with opposite energies a lot, and you have been dealing with it for most of the year, okay? Anything you want, somebody else doesn't want, and it's like this conflict backwards and forwards that's happened for most of the year. That's a duality. That's number 2. You did shift into a number 3, which is more creativity, taking on more of a leap of faith, more of a creative aspect in terms of what you want to do. How can you reconcile this backwards and forwards, or this conflict, right? How can you add something extra to the dish, right, to bring about balance, where you have the almost like the Holy Trinity, the 3, right, that midway point between the 2 points, the 2, the duality, and the midpoint, right, is the bridge that connects them all, even if they're off balance, right? You've been in that energy too. You've been in the 3, the catalyst energy. You're driving now through the number 3. You're now moving into the 4, and the 4 is all about stability. I want to set this in stone. Okay. Now, when we relate it to your physical, day-to-day life, we're talking about finding balance and foundations that are set in stone, right? And is very clear-cut. There's no hidden agenda within it, and it has the ability to go the distance. And the reason I'm saying all of that, yes, this is my deck and I painted it, but I always see more in it myself, because I did meditate before I painted these, you see. So with this card over here, we've got those pebbles, those rocks that have built this ruin. Now, a ruin, as we know, stands the test of time. Yes, we may call it a ruin. So for some of you, perhaps you're doing some renovations to your home or to a new home, right, position. But this stands a distance, it really does. It is surrounded by blossoming flowers, okay, which represent fertility and future growth. And it's got the sun there as well, and water. So we're talking about kind of all the elements, really. Now, obviously, you're air, but the air within that, there's nothing clouding the sight. You don't have any clouds there. You don't have anything clouding your judgment. The sun is shining a light on it. The sun is also overlooking the water, your emotional body. So you have put a spotlight on your emotional body, which is why that dark horse has kind of started the vortex going, right? And you want a platform for yourself that has not only set in stone, but got room for growth, okay? So for some of you, you may be charging forward to look towards an avenue or a direction of passion, because it's Wands energy, which talks about the spirit. Passion that is not only going to have room for growth, right? Be lucrative, but also have an element of foundation attached. So in terms of, it's got backing. Whatever you're driving forward towards, you're very clear cut towards it, because you want something that is got backing, grounding to it. So it could be, for example, if it was a job or like a project interest that you wanted to do, it's got backing towards it, meaning you've either got supporters, okay, there's been many books written about this, okay, or it's got solid foundations, okay, and you're basically charging forward to the skeleton idea of it. So that's why I was saying you don't know exactly where it is, but in mind, the skeleton of it, which is the runes, right? The skeleton is there. You just need to fill it up with flesh. Okay, that sounds a bit weird, but you know that there's room to growth. You can decorate it as you desire, right? So, Four of Wands is typically also a very positive card. It can talk about holidays, you know, romance. It can talk about like having more of a happier lifestyle, whatever the case may be. But we're not talking traditional tarot here. We're doing it Robyn style this time around, okay? There is definitely, wherever you're charging forward towards, you're going to be happy, okay? Because you can take something that has roots and you can mold it as you wish. And the beauty of that is that you're not preempting, you're not prejudging how that's going to look for you. No, 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 no. You're more excited. This is what's about harnessing the shadow side. You are now more excited about figuring out where you, as you go along. As long as it's got a bit of foundation, as long as it's a little bit set in stone and they've got the basic framework in place, the rest you want to enjoy the idea of seeing how it pans out, working in the moment and fleshing it out and creating around these this framework to serve you, okay? So in a sense, it seems to me that you are no longer needing to have everything sussed out anymore, okay? And maybe that was the thing that was tripping you up in the past, where you kind of, I need to know where my sense of stability is, I need to know where my solid foundations are, and that was all the shadow work that you're doing, right? And now what's happened is that shadow work has become your best friend. The Four of Pentacles, in my card I have presented it as a man who's sleeping on a magic carpet and sleeping on top of his pentacles. Okay. Now, Four of Pentacles can traditionally talk about needing to kind of keep a close eye on your finances, or withholding information, all of those sorts of things. Magic carpets are meant to be up in the air, flying around and working with the magic, right? For me, the thing I'm picking up on here is comfort. If you have a look at this card, he's snoozing, right? He's having a good old snooze. He's taking what he has and he says, you know what? I've got my magic carpet. I know that at any point I can go off on an exciting adventure. I can experience more magic in my life. But for now, let me just weigh this magic carpet down, because I know it wants to take me in so many directions, you know, and it's exciting. But I feel like you are exercising quite a lot of self-discipline this month. And you're saying, you know what, I'm so glad I've got my magic carpet. I'm so glad I've got my skills, talents, and abilities. I know that I have more options available to me than I realize. I know that I can go the distance. But what I fully recognize within myself is, because I've soared forward and created this momentum, part of my shadow self, with maybe holding myself back, I now have become friends with it. So now I'm going to do the opposite of what I normally would do. I've charged forward, that's fine. But as I do so, I now am disciplining myself and kind of going, you know what, now I'm just going to hold fort for a bit. So you place your ideas and even your finances, okay, and your assets. You place them down, you weigh down the carpet, because you're saying, now I need to rest. Now I need to just recover from that charge forward, okay? So this is where you are really becoming good friends with your shadow work, because your shadow work was saying, well, Aquarius, you were holding yourself back, you could have gone forward, you were procrastinating, all of these sorts of things. And so that you move with that, and that becomes a driving energy towards that venture, that platform that you want to create within yourself. But that foundation that weighed down is really strong and sturdy. You're saying, okay, cool, by the end of the month, I'm just going to take a breather. Thank you very much for my solid foundations. I'm going to just sit here for a bit and just recover from that journey. Okay, and in so doing, I feel like this is extremely promising for you, because you've now recognized how important it is to work with your, not the energies that are surrounding you, you're now working with your own energies. You're starting to understand, I need a little rest now, or you know what, I've had my rest, I need to move now, or make movements, okay? So you are really gauging within yourself, you really are understanding your emotional body in a way that becomes an instruction, okay? And you're trusting in it, which is really beautiful. So it's a very exciting month, Aquarius. Okay, we are going to get an oracle card for you. Okay, what does Aquarius need to know, please, for September? Thank you. Align your life. What is not aligned and needs to change? So Aquarius, you already know that. This is why your dark horse is now charging off in action. This was the broken parts of yourself, the splintered energy, where it felt like in one way you're trying to please this person, another way you're trying to please that person. That was the two I was telling you about. You're sort of in between either conflict or duality all the time, and what happened was you were split. Maybe you've been split in an argument that has been had between close ones, you know, or triggered by the workplace. Whatever the case is for you, there has definitely been a splintered energy, and this is where you now took advantage, and you took a responsibility for that splintered energy, and kind of go, well, I'm not serving anyone, least of all myself, in this light. So let me look at that splintered energy. Let's look at where that cut me. Okay, emotionally speaking, because it's like glass, it's like a mirror that's been kind of pulled all the side. And as we know, right, when you heal or mend parts, when you take a cup that's been broken and you glue it back together, it's so much stronger. When you break a bone in the body and it mends, that bridge becomes so much stronger, okay? And that's what you're actually doing over the course of September. So you are definitely becoming good friends with your shadow self, and it is showing you the light, which is ironic, okay? Or maybe not, actually. Anyway, so that's what I have for you, Aquarius. Now, I am a vocal channeler, all right? I've been doing it for 3 years. I work with a collective of 12 who call themselves Anakasanja on the 7th density. I'm going to see if they have a message for you. So if you are weirded out by vocal channeling, switch off now. If you're not, carry on watching. They speak in a strange accent. They speak in a very odd way. I have no idea what will be said. And I will close my eyes and take a few breaths. So let's see if they've got any messages for you. All of us are working within your light, Aquarius, in your violet, yes? So, when you think you are elevating yourself, Yes, you are. And we are here to connect within you and serve. Yes? You see the light of day with ways that your mind is trusting colors. Now, when we say trusting colors, trusting flavors of different eventualities in your love and in your light and in your life. You are learning to trust in your soul within this light, yes? And as we see within you, you are learning to collect all of it within. So, you are a collector of light within you at this time, and you're choosing to trust in the events of anything that occur. Yes? So, we see a complacent love within you and loving to complace within. Come to place within. Yes? Come to place within. So you are inviting these new places into your heart first. When you enjoy your light in this manner, you are connecting to source energy. You are connecting to your love more, and you are valuing your light more. Yes? So, you are level within you now. So, you can find more ways to love it in a higher dimension and favor your light in a higher way. Yes? You can learn to elevate your soul even when you think you cannot. We are here to help, but you are doing it anyway. Yes? So you learn the soul within you. This is what it is in mind within you. You are elevating within you. You know this within you. So trust the light of this. It is working in your favor. Yes? So we light within you. We love within you. We are within you. We are love. Okay, Aquarius, I hope that helped. I hope it was useful for you. Have a very exciting September, and I'll see you next time. Take care.